school at the time. So basically, this should cover pretty much everything everybody is doing. So let's see what comes up. Okay, so we've got quite a few books that are coming up, and you can see they're pretty dead on what we're looking for because I didn't specify which war. So far, it's a little mix of World War I and World War II. But let's take a look, maybe on number three. Okay, so number three is American Women in World War I. They also serve. So I'm going to click on that. And the thing I want you to notice is the idea of the subject headings. So I mentioned earlier in the previous video on the slides about subject headings. So here are the subject headings. And you can see some of them are very broad, like women, history, obviously. But the ones to focus on, put it right at the top here, we have World War, 1914-1918, Women, United States. That's very, very specific. That's exactly, so for those of you who are doing women during World War I and women getting money for the ambulance or the women learning how to work radios, this would be a great starting point for you to look at. So let me click on this. And then, sadly, there's not a lot of books about women in World War I, but there are 12. Good news is, looks like pretty much all of them are available online. So again, for those of you doing women in World War I, here's a great list of 12 books. And unlike a paper book, no one's going to check it out and you can't read it. So these are available to all of you. So it's as simple as that. Okay, that's all you have to do is look at the subject headings. It's a really quick way to get exactly what it is that you're looking for. Now, if you can go about it a different way. For those of you who are doing World War II, don't despair. So I'm going to go to OneSearch, and I'm going to click on Advanced Search. So right underneath the search window, you can see it says Advanced Search. So I'm going to click on that. And so up here, all you need to do is where it says any field, I'm going to pick subject, okay, because it's a subject heading. Now, I have mentioned no based on that previous, I've done previous searches. So for some of you doing the Netherlands, I'm going to type it in. I'll put in World War 1939 to 1945. Netherlands. All right, let's do a search. Okay, so we have 32 books about the Netherlands during World War II. And there's quite a few to look at. Let's see, when the war is over. Okay, this one's good down here. Look at the one on the very bottom. It's called The Netherlands and Germany, in Nazi Germany. Okay, so those of you doing that. Now this one, unfortunately, you can see at the top this is available at Leon and Toby Cooperman Library and gives you a number there. That's a call number. So that is behind locked doors right now. Unfortunately, you can't get that book, otherwise it'd be a perfect book to use. But this one is not available full text. But what I want to show you, what I'm focusing on, again, are these subject headings. So here are all the subject headings you could pick, and this one's got an even a richer list of options. So you can pick the Queen of the Netherlands during the war, Queen Wilhelmina, 1880 to 1962. You could pick Holocaust, Jewish, 1939-1945 Netherlands, so the Jews in the Netherlands, which would include Anne Frank. I know a lot of you have read the Diary of Anne Frank. We have World War 1939-1945 Underground Movements, Netherlands. We have Netherlands History, German Occupation, 1940-1945. We have things in Dutch and other languages even. And so again, it's very, so let me try maybe the German Occupation. Let's see what we get with that one. So we have 19 results. Some of these are in, that might be German or Dutch at the very first one. But you can see there's no reason to say, well, I can't find more than one book about my topic, right? The easiest thing I can tell you, the most obvious thing to do is just to keep clicking and looking at the subject headings. And this one, again, it's almost, for me, it's like, layers, it's going down the rabbit hole. It's almost like YouTube, right? Where you see one thing, you're like, oh, what's this about? This one is about the decolonization of Indonesia. If you didn't know, Indonesia was a colony of the Netherlands. So that was came out of the Second World War. So there's a lot of ways to go about doing this. Now, another thing you can do is, let me go back to when we had more results. If you look over on the right-hand side, there's all kinds of ways to limit it. Now, I did mention the fact that a lot of these are on the shelf. So you can always click on full text online, and then it will ensure that you have the electronic version of the book. So you don't have to, strike out and find things that are on the shelf that you can't look at. So if you click on full text over there, you can go ahead and take a look at the ones that are available. And again, the nice thing about it is that two people could be looking at it, and you don't have to worry about a due date or anything like that. Now, another thing to note is citing the books, and I know that is often difficult for some people. So let's say the first one here, Hitler's Bounty Hunters, the Betrayal of the Jews. If you want to cite it, all you need to do, and you could even type in, you should be able to type in, although if you use Gale, Gale will actually give you the citation on the page itself. So I think with the reference sources you already set. But for the books, all you need to do is click on so if you look at the first one, you see there's on the right-hand side, there's a brown pin, and there's an envelope. If you click on the quotation mark, that will actually cite it for you. All right, so you can see it's an MLA right there. You can just copy and paste it into your bibliography, and you're good to go. Okay, so it's if you're taking a different class and you're taking a history class, for instance, you could put it in Chicago Turabian. So this is something I also point out to you because it's not immediately obvious. It's not something that is screaming, this is how you can cite your source, that little quotation mark. So I just want you to be aware that it is a handy little tool that you can utilize when you're doing your searching. So that should cover, for the most part, what you will need. And again, what I'll be grading you on for the book assignment is in part the subject heading. Okay, so again, when I'm looking up the book that you looked at, I'm going to see, are there any subject headings that are relevant to their topic? And you can see here there's multiple references to the Netherlands in World War II. So be mindful of that, because what I'm trying to do is to teach you how to be more sophisticated in the way you search, how to speed up the process, and how to find exactly what you're looking for. And the subject headings are really the best way to do that. Okay, so that wraps that up for this week. Again, if you have any questions at all about the midterm, email me. I've attached the assignment on Blackboard, so read it carefully. If it still doesn't make sense, ask me a question. But now we're getting closer to the midterm, and you need to start focusing and getting those 4 reference sources and those 2 books together, so that leave it to the last minute, as I've said before and as I warned you, it's not going to go well, because you do need a little bit of time to put this together, and also to write your annotations. Okay, so I will talk to you next week.